zoom out because I've taken a bit of land in the north. Go on, shall I show them my little rampage? Yeah. So I've sent the main stack up north. Took them straight for Algeria's capital, but I sent a decoy on speed, so that's the first thing they saw. So I was breaking through this province, this big province. Sent the decoy on speed up this way, so that's the first thing they saw. And I don't know if they did chase it and take it down, obviously, but I think it probably bought me enough time for the main stack to just go straight for the capital. What did you see today, Jonathan?
I saw 3 troops west of Awagla. By the time I saw it, your troop had already died, presumably by the hands of those troops. You can see it got to In Armanus to the east. And then by the time your troops were about Telarg, they were at Ain Salah, so like southwest of where you were currently. So basically they were way behind you, and even if they wanted to chase you and catch you up, then they were too late. It's 3 level 1 infantry, I believe. So he had 2 options. He could have chased after you, or he could have invaded your home cities, but he hasn't appeared to have done either now. So perhaps he's amassing a larger army to prepare for a counterattack, or maybe he's given up.
Yeah. I mean, either way. So, God, if you look at, so when you take someone's capital, you might not know this, but it absolutely destroys their morale. So if you look at the home cities, go from like 77, 78 down to 58, lose 20% morale. But then if you look at some of these cities they were conquering, it's gone down to 9%. El Hossiem and Tiflet down to 16%, so it's absolutely destroyed them all over in their morale. When the morale goes down, so this city, home city, Oran, with their level 4 recruiting office, 58% morale. That means it probably halves in time the amount of time it takes them to mobilise a unit. So they might be thinking, oh, I'm going to just mobilise units massively everywhere else and attack him. But that their mobilisation rate has just doubled from 16 to under a day to 2 days or something, and it makes the counterattack seem impossible. So some players, like you said, Jonathan, can just give up. Some will double down and just try and hurt you and just send everything at your home cities. But we've got such a long lead time and notice for that to happen all the way down here. I can fly them back in quicker time than they can sort of walk to me. So, yeah, I'm just going to stay up there. I'm going to hold their capital with a couple of troops. I'm going to go for this next strategic city, give me rare materials, and also it'll take out that recruiting office level 4, and then I'll just sort of keep mopping up around there. And it'll take a while probably to take this area because it's a big area, and he's got three units out there. Still, a bit of a danger. You don't really want to run into 3 troops. Especially when I'm splitting up my armies and just trying to take this land. So, looking good so far. I'm just flying out a combat recon just to add to the reinforcements, but I can always fly them back if needed. And the capital, I had an army base level 1, which I got rid of. I've got an air base, and I've got 2/3 underground bunkers, so it gives me a good bit of defence. That even a partially constructed building gives you some defence, so that's really good news. Started building destroyers. Research. Started researching destroyers. That'll be research for 15 hours, but I've got to then build a naval base level 3, which will be complete in 2 days, 14 hours, and then I've got to save up enough components to then build destroyer, which is going to be a lot. It's about 2,500, 3,000 or something. Can have a look. But what have you guys been doing? 2,500.
I'll let you go first, Tim.
So last night finished off Mali, and then I've come south, started taking over Guinea. So I've had my strike fighters just sort of leading the way.
Nice.
Just making sure there were a couple of troops sat south of this city I've taken on the coast. So I think it's at that point now where the computers take country, so the troops are just kind of wandering. So
Okay, computers taken over them.
yeah, so yeah, just making my way to Kankan now. Yeah, just sort of systematically taking it.
It's the beauty of strike fighters. They can provide just incredible support now and eyes. And just a couple of, one or two troops solo, they can crack into them, can't they? Have you attacked anyone with your strikes?
Just yeah. I've just been picking off the troops in the cities with them. Damage is a little on the low side, but once I've got like 3 or 4 plus, they'll be pretty efficient.
Yeah. And at this stage, low-level troops give virtually nil damage to aircraft, so you may as well just attack them. So
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, they've not taken much damage.
Okay, cool. What's your update, Jonathan?
So now I've finished taking a lot of the land north of the river. I'm going to look to move in on DR Congo. I'm just trying to suss out where he's got his troops. So he's had a little war with Angola. I thought he was AFK for a while, but now I've noticed he's actually built a level 2 naval base, and he's in the process of building a level 2 air base. My plan was to move in through Boma and go directly to Kinshasa, but Boma was originally held by Angola, and now it's actually been taken back by DR Congo. So I know for certain he's got troops there. So I've got a bit of a dilemma. Do I move in on Boma and then through to Kinshasa, because that'll be very quick, or do I go into Luanda and then go through the complex and then to Kinshasa, and that would take like a day longer at least. But he may not be expecting that. Also got to worry about the possibility of a boat from Kisangani up to the northeast, and he could also send troops through there. Like currently, I've still got some troops there just to stop Chosen, but ultimately, I think I'm still going to leave Bomba undefended because it's quite a long way from my home cities, and I'm just going to amass all my forces over in the southwest to get ready for an assault from that side. Yeah, there could be some risks involved though.
Oh yeah, I've just seen the airbase level 2 is in Luanda, so probably preparing for strikes. And what else has he got? Army base, no army base level 2. It's probably mainly strikes. And the naval base, what's that going to be? Corvettes.
Yeah.
First of all, so still pretty weak stuff.
Yeah. I took out a few of his troops which were defending Bamba, and a few before which were in the middle of fighting another country, which I kind of third-partied. So he's a little bit weak. We know that for certain. Hopefully, if I just gather together around 6 troops, that should be enough to take him down. I might just go directly in on Boma. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, if he's only got a couple, then I don't know. Maybe Tim might lend you a couple of strikes. You never know, to help the attack.
I should have a strike. Well, I will have a strike by this time tomorrow.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and I'm currently researching finally the infantry officer and mobile radar, because I just want to be able to lead the charge with that, and with the radar just to see where things are.
What you could,
especially in this dense jungle.
Oh god, the radar would be incredible. I don't know if I'm reading the port right on Boma, but does it give you the option of not just going directly to Boma, but landing and then going to Madati, which is the suburb to the right of it?
No, it wouldn't let you do that.
You'd have to go straight into the city.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see from the connection, but it definitely looks like you've got to go into the center of the city and then to the ports. Always connects directly to a city, so you have to go through a city center after entering a port. Obviously, the exception is when you've got pontoons, which just go directly into a province, and they can be on like any one of the angles which are adjacent to water.
Yeah. Oh, I can see Angola have a couple of air bases. That's random. A couple of air bases on provinces. Oh, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Yeah, Bomba or Luanda. I guess Luanda would be the surprise, wouldn't it? Where you could land.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that,
Um,
and then just brave the mountains and the jungle next to it. It looks like he's actually
yeah.
gradually making some more progress taking Angola's land as well. So definitely got
Hmm.
one or two troops down there as well. Tricky one.
Either way, you just want to mount up a big stack. I think it's time for the big stacks now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I didn't quite have enough forces to have two big stacks going at once. So
No.
that's just what I'm doing is consolidating. It's gonna take about 12 hours to get all my troops in position. So tomorrow morning I'll launch an
Hmm.
attack.
Okay, that sounds fair enough. Great. Oh, we'll look forward to that then. It's kind of like the equivalent of what I've just done with Angola. You're looking to make a move now on a keen active player who is trying to expand and has possibly been weakened, but then so have you. So
Yeah.
it's going to be tough, but I think you'll be able to take him, especially once you get a strike fighter. They really are worth their weight in gold. I'll finish a strike fighter in 7.5 hours, and that's going to really help with my campaign up in Algeria. So that'll be good.
Absolutely.
Just
It's always a good idea to build like a hospital on an airport to make sure they're nice and healed up. Tim, you're building a
yeah.
level 2 hospital on your capital. That'll come in really handy. Sent my air superiority over there to heal.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna keep upgrading this. I think bit low on the supplies front at the moment, but I'll get it up to level 5 by like day 10, I think.
So what was it
Yeah.
that we
Cool.
discovered in the previous game? So like if you've got one troop on a city, does it heal at the same rate as two troops? Or would a stack with two troops and it heal twice as fast, if you see what I mean? Like how
Yeah,
does
they
that work?
basically heal twice as fast.
Twice as fast.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
The more troops you've got, it gives healing power. So if we look at Tim's city, his capital city, it gives you 3 healing power a day, and that's per troop, not per stack. So if you've got a stack of 10 troops and they've got a little slither of energy that needs healing, they're going to heal very fast. But if you've got one troop that's got pretty much it's a whole healing to do, that's going to take days. So you want to stack them up so that they amortize their health out, average their health out, and then they'll heal a lot quicker. Is that the way you understand it, Tim? And can you understand?
basically,
Can you explain it in a simpler way?
it's pretty much. I mean, if I sent like a couple of full health troops over to this low health one I've got on there, then he'll be full health by tomorrow because he's currently missing 8 health. But on his own, it will take another 2.5, 3 days to get that. So
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing now. You can see by Douala, I've got one troop which is on 1.2 health and another one which is on 14.4. And I think you always want to be amortizing, like putting a low health troop in a high health stack,
yeah,
because if you've got a troop at full health, it's not going to be gaining any health. But suddenly, if its average health has been brought down, then you're going to gain the healing bonus for that troop, which you wouldn't have otherwise. So yeah, definitely putting together the highest health troops with the lowest health troops, just to get that average.
Average it out, and then they heal very quickly because they've all, instead of one troop that's got 10 points to heal, 10 troops just have 1 point to heal each, and that'll take a day. So yeah, definite benefit.
And a nice easy way to do that without you having to manage it would be to set a rally point from a city where you're building your troops to where you've got your main hospital. And if you're going to have your main hospital on your airport, that's going to be somewhere different from where your combat recons, for example. So you can just manage that. So as soon as you've got an injured troop to return, there's already going to be a full health troop on there.
And send them to the airports, then you can distribute them quickly anywhere you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the more airports, the better. If they were cheaper, we'd have airports absolutely everywhere, wouldn't we? But I've definitely tried that in some games, and it's been a big downfall of strategies which involve like airborne troops or especially helicopters. Even if the troops are really good, you need the infrastructure there, otherwise they're just not going to work.
What sort of stuff are you guys managing to research anything or build anything?
yeah.
What I'm researching. What are you researching, Tim?
Yesterday I did the level 2 infantry officer and infantry,
Oh, wow.
and I've just started researching a destroyer a few hours ago. So
Nice.
yeah, I'll be able to start one of those tomorrow afternoon.
Ooh. So you got a level 3. Oh, you have level 3 naval base. You're flying. You've got loads of stuff. Very good.
Level 3 naval base.
For a destroyer.
Ooh.
I've got
Yeah,
one
that's
queued up. And I'll
I
finish.
could go straight into submarines then.
You're
I'm
going
considering
subs.
getting destroyers too, because they're just like really good all round. And if you need to attack a city, you can with a boat. You can't with a submarine, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
What sub are you thinking of going for?
If I was going defensively, I'd go with the elite AIP submarines because they're really good in shallow water, so you can park those just outside your city, and they're going to be unparalleled in combat to any boat which is looking to make an incursion on your cities.
Yeah.
If we're looking to make some tactical positionings in our shared water, then a normal submarine would be very good. And if I want to go a bit crazy like I did last time and start a nuclear arms program, then I'd start with some ballistic missile submarines, but that's quite a long-term game plan, which I'm not sure I want to do this game.
I've just seen that I can build the elite sub or the elite railgun. I don't know how that's happened because I could never. Oh, once upon a time I could build the elite railgun, but it bounced off and now it's back. It's good.
Ooh. Yeah, it's taken away the option for me to use the elite railgun this game.
Is it? How weird.
Go.
Oh, maybe that's well, it might be a doctrine thing, but
Oh, hang on, no, there's some research requirements for the elite bomber. Research
Okay.
Lance MK, no. That. Yeah, some of them you need to research a certain troop of its class before you gain availability to it.
okay. Oh yeah, any helicopter. Oh, it looks like it's opened up all the elite units then. Before you had to have passed certain seasons and stuff, but it looks like a lot of them have just opened up. Oh yeah.
Right. You've got access to the elite main battle tank and stuff like that.
Yeah. I just need to level 1 main battle tank armored fighting vehicle. Oh, maybe not because I've got a level 1 armored fighting vehicle.
Interesting.
And it won't let me research, but then I don't have the materials, so I don't know. Let's see. I'd love an elite main battle tank.
Yeah, I swear some of these were like locked to seasons, specific seasons. Like the season we started in was the elite railgun one, and then we moved on to the elite bomber, and now we've got the elite UGV. I believe this is it the elite submarine which is available to everyone, or is it the railgun usually?
I don't know. It all goes over my head. If I can build them, I will. If I can't, then I won't. Symbols.
Some of these units can really change the tide of battle.
Well, they're incredible. They're elite. Yeah, they're elite for a reason.
If it's worth it or not.
We're definitely going to have to research some of these elite units then, so we'll be showing what they're all about. I've seen that, looking at elsewhere on the board, I've seen that China are going in with Myanmar on attacking the Mekong Corporation, so they're working together as a team, which is a bit scary, because that's a powerful combination.
Wow.
And the UK seems to have gone into maybe Germany. I don't know. Strasbourg, is that German?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, they've gone into Strasbourg, so they're rocking and rolling, and Baltic states have taken over a victory site in the Nordic regions, which I don't know how they've done. So they must have had to have a treaty with one of the Nords, or they might be in coalition with them. So that's interesting. But Baltic states have the Heta site, which is a rare materials site. So they're going to have a research advantage, and they've already taken over another country as well, like 5 cities. And they've got dome cities. So UK, Baltic states, China. It's all happening. They're all starting to come at you. And Iraq. Yeah, they're advancing through Saudi Arabia. And
Question is, after you've taken Algeria, who's your next target going to be? 'Cause you're right at the front line.
I'll either go right or left, whichever kind of balances us out the most. I'll probably go east because Tim can go up the coast.
Yeah.
But I've got an awful large amount of stuff to take. But yeah, it would make sense leaving Tim, Mauritania, who are cracking into Shari Republic, and then so yeah, I'll probably end up going into Libya, and then onto people like Egypt and Sudan who are active players.
I'm in a really good place to help you as soon as you want to start taking on Libya and especially Egypt and Sudan because of this Death Valley. You could just have a stack of troops up there waiting on your command to take the Buzayama complex, and then whichever force is going to be split in half, really.
Yeah, and then there's that victory site we can go for. So yeah, that corridor is going to come into play, isn't it? And you own the corridor, so you can if you're so inclined, you can send people up the corridor, or you can go up to the east of that dead zone and go up that way instead. It's up to you, but we might want a bit of defense in that corridor, whatever happens, to stop them.
Yeah, a minimum of defense. That there's only one way they can go, so hunker down.
I mean, in an ideal world, whoever's feeling flush enough with resources could build an airfield, like maybe at the far end nearest us of that corridor to, maybe pump reinforcements in if we need it.
Yeah.
But we can think about that. I mean, it seems like a big spend on resource just to build airfields at the minute, when they could be.
Keep close eye on Iraq, because it's highly possible by the time you take Libya, he could be pushing into Egypt, and then our conflict zone may revolve around this victory site in Mut.
Yeah.
So we'll have to.
Yeah, but Iraq's got a long way to take that peninsula. There's a couple of other players on there. He might. They're only small. Well,
he's adjacent to Egypt right now, though. You see how far he's pushed up.
Yeah, and once he goes into Egypt, that's a big decision to go across into the water over to another continent, isn't it? Rather than just continue on that peninsula, and where he already is in the Middle East. So
it would make sense for him to take Oman first, so he gains control of his waterways, and then maybe he'll choose to move on to Iran and Turkey as well. I'm not sure who he's in coalition with. Like, he wouldn't necessarily have a reason to move into Egypt apart from to gain that early advantage of the victory site. So we'll just have to watch him carefully.
True. The victory site might draw them in. Yeah. What are you thinking about your strategy, Tim? Did I call it, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just going to make my way around this coastline, really, sort of as quick as possible.
And once we've taken all our targets and reached a bit of a dead end, then we'll join a coalition front, won't we? And that'll be interesting.
Yeah. That's when we can start moving into another continent, whether that's sort of into the Middle East or Europe.
Might be South Africa,
It's always going to take me a while to take the south of Africa. Yeah. So you could move in directly on South Africa, or you could join me on the northern kind of line I'll have here, but you're easily going to get through Libya and Mauritania before I get to Namibia, I reckon.
Yeah, Libya's a bit smaller and more concentrated to flush through. I've got a feeling Algeria is going to take a while, so we'll see, because there's Morocco mixed in as well, so it's like two countries, isn't it, in one? And I'm kind of in a building phase right now. I'm not really producing units, so just going hardcore after the building, as I quite often do. Building level 3 arms industries, got level 4 stacked up, and they're ready to roll. I've got the resources for them. And it's interesting because if I just show them this queuing system, I put a level 4 arms industry in the queue for rares, and it shows that it will start in 1 hour 25 minutes. And if you have a look, over there when your last building's going to finish, that's going to finish building in 1 hour 25 as well. So it shows me that it's going to start building as soon as the other one is finished, which tells me I've got enough resources. But if it does also say if you hover over the one in the building queue, starts in 10 hours. Oh, hello, but the other one building already finishes in 1 hour and 24, and it will say waiting on components, and then so you know what you're short of, and you can actually queue up all sorts of things and it will show you what you're short of. Then you can either start buying or planning for focusing on building up other resources, and so it's, the building queue's quite useful in that respect. You can do, surprisingly, you can do a lot of planning.
Have you also clocked that in the build queue you can move things up in priority? So I'm not sure exactly how the rules with it work, but if you've got two things which are set to be built at the same time and one's higher in priority, I think one build might wait until the other has finished and then started building before it takes the supplies or whatever.
Yeah, and there's a color code, so green means it's ready to roll, not going to be delayed, and then I forget what the other color codes are, but yeah, so you can move them up and down.
Waiting for something.
Orange is waiting, yeah. And I think if you want something to take priority, then pump it up in the queue until it hits green, and that way you know it's going to start when at the first moment it can.
I don't know if it factors in like all the previous builds into its estimates of supplies and components, for example.
I believe so. Yeah.
In that case, that's very useful. You can really just map everything out for the next 5 days.
Yeah, you could do if you've got the time, which would be lovely to have. You never know. Sometimes you do.
Definitely getting level 1 bunkers on each city and then leveling that up to level 2 as well to try and maximize morale. Even if you're only at war with 1 or 2 people, your morale usually sits around about 80%. One city that I lost before is sitting around 60%, so I'm really struggling with that. That does make a massive difference to output, doesn't it? So
yeah, on every city, even ones you've just taken over.
Yeah. Oh, you've been doing that, have you? Like literally building a bunker on every city?
Not yet, but I always find that useful. So I've got a bunker on 3 of my homeland cities. The 3 that I want the resources the most of immediately, which is components, supplies, and rare materials. I'll push that out to building bunkers on the other 2, the petrol and the electronics, as soon as possible. And then once I get a bit more flush with resources, I'll start building bunkers on every city in order of priority of resources that I need. So mainly starts off with components and supplies, and then it just spreads out to them all.
Still got a ton of components. I'm not building any fighting vehicles. Only just started building strikes.
Cool.
Still got a deficit of supplies, and now I'm starting to get a deficit of rare materials too.
Really?
Yeah. Should we just go through and do a little resources sound off?
Go on then.
We haven't done that yet, have we?
You start.
So supplies 112.
105.
Okay.
75.
Oh my god. Right, components 85.
78.
Right.
100.
Cool.
Oh, so you're doing pretty well. Fuel is 97.
98.
82.
82. And mine's going to massively skyrocket when I take this victory site.
Yeah.
Electronics 56. I'm really
70.
Yeah, 70.
Right. Dokey. Rare materials 58.
73.
58.
73
58 as well. 58.
Right. Cool. So you're doing really well for rares. That's a great boon to have in the long term. Manpower 88.
113.
Wow.
113.
Okay, so I'm slightly behind, but I haven't actually had any issues with being lacking on manpower. But then again, I haven't built troops in a few days. It's one of these things you find after the first couple of weeks, it becomes absolutely irrelevant. And money, I've got 620 an hour.
688.
Okay.
578.
Interesting stats there. Tim, you're so the reason Tim's got a high component yield is that your component city will have a higher population than a lot of your other cities. Where are your components? It's on your capital city. There you go. So you get the bonus morale, and your population 6.3. So that's nice to have. And my capital's are rare materials.
How many
Jonathan,
components do you actually have now, though?
how many what? Sorry.
How many components do you have now, Tim?
2,900.
Yeah, so I've got around 3,000 as well.
What,
so,
really? I've only got like 850.
Yeah, so we definitely need to rebalance that a bit because because you do start with so many kind of cheaper materials. You're just given some at the start, right, and then some are available cheaply in the stock market. So you do tend to have like a bit extra. And the problem is, yesterday and the day before, we were wanting to buy resources from one another, but we just didn't have the money and we didn't have anything to trade in to get money. But now we may have enough money to start up a bit of a free market to minimize and maximize all the resources we need. So we'll definitely get some components over to you and see what we can take in return.
Well, Tim will probably want to keep his components because you're going to start building a destroyer, so you'll have none by the time you start building your destroyer, which is pretty soon, isn't it, Tim? But I could certainly take some components off you, Jonathan, if you wanted to give them for when I start building my destroyer, but it will be in a couple of days.
I just think it's best to kind of sort it out now rather than planning ahead in a couple of days. Just to like reduce the build queues and reduce the time things are being built as much as possible, if that's feasible. But really don't know. Yeah, I'd be happy to give some across now because all I'm saving them for is strikes, so I can easily give you 1,000.
Okay, I'll buy some components off you.
Absolutely.
Are you going to put up an offer in the marketplace and later on we can...
Sell offer? Yeah, sell offer.
Are you doing it now?
Have you got any offers up? What can you see under the buy components? Can you see anything there?
It's all my...
cheapest to be around 7, right?
Buy components 7.4, 263 at 7.4. That's my those are my offers, aren't they?
Yeah. So if I put it at 5, then you'll be able to buy that. See, there's this issue where if a couple of offers are floated on the stock market, then you'll always be made to choose the cheapest one, and you can't choose your friend's offer, for example. So you can get priced out of the market in a sense as well. What I've done is I've put up a sell offer, 1,000 at 5. See my trades. Yeah, it's up there now. So you just need to refresh the market and you should be able to see that and purchase it.
Right, it might take a little time to update.
And I don't know, have you got an excess of, rares? We all keep them to ourselves generally, don't we? Or
I've got
supplies?
I've got no excess of supplies, components, or rares. I've got an excess of electronics and fuel only. Of like a couple of thousand.
I think I'll take some electronics from you just because my production is so low. You stick up an offer for like 500.
Okay, aren't we just best buying these off the shop though? There's still loads.
Yeah.
Still a few in the shops, isn't there?
I guess so.
Let's talk markets anyway. I've just had a text through saying one of my customers has cancelled for tomorrow, so I need to quickly replace that work. So I better say goodbye from here. So
it's real world stuff. Okay.
Oh, I know, and yeah, there's like an hour or two left in the evening, and I won't bore you. But I've got an employee depending on me for that work tomorrow. So, okay, well, thank you both for jumping on. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye from me.
See you later. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Over and out.